to this week's Blonde Intelligence. I'm your host, Miss Runny, and I always seek to give you exquisite cranial repertoire. I know I've been gone for a few weeks working on some other projects, but a lot has happened since I have had my little hiatus. So we're going to start with Love and Hip Hop franchise is ending. And then I want to talk a little bit about Claressa Sheilds, Tasha K, big syndication deal, and Jay-Z freestyling. So we're going to start out with Love and Hip Hop ending. And I used to be an avid watcher of Love and Hip Hop, especially, well, I liked Hollywood the best, but New York, Atlanta, Hollywood, I would occasionally watch Love and Hip Hop Miami. I really like to listen to the reviews on Miami from a YouTube commentator by the name of Voodoo Doll. But what I got from the announcement was from Khaotic. I remember Khaotic saying that people on Love and Hip Hop needed to find other streams of income besides Love and Hip Hop because Love and Hip Hop is not always going to be there. So he said this, and the first thing that came out of Khaotic mouth was something to the effect of, I told y'all that you needed to find other forms of income, Scrappy. Now, I understand that you and, well, Khaotic and Scrappy may have beef or whatever, but why would you, I told you so, and try to kick somebody when they're down? I always say that artists should try to find other things that they can naturally sell, that they're good at or whatever, and seek endorsements. And I think that I would probably say that Scrappy would probably get into another reality TV show. Bambi has like the hair care line. Sierra has the hair salon and the seasonings. And Carly Red has every type of business that you can name. Kirk and Rashida have their businesses. So does Yandy and Mendici. So I think that everybody, especially in Atlanta, is going to do all right. I don't think that is the end of any of their careers. And I think that Khaotic may have been a little bit out of line trying to point out to Scrappy. You have to look at the positives. He may not can go sell liquor. He may not can be on the face of a cigar. He may not have endorsements for fast cars. But what he has is 10 years experience in reality TV. So it may not even be that he be in front of the camera. He may be behind the camera, helping to produce. Now, I would say that Scrappy may need to work on the wanting to argue with people and all of that kind of stuff. But I think that him as a person is talented enough that this is not going to be the end of his reality TV run. So, Khaotic, let's just not do that, okay? So then I want to move to Claressa Shields. And I know that this story may be past news cycles now. Of course it is. But people talked about when she popped that girl while they was arguing and talking about it was unprovoked. I think that people are idiots sometimes because if they were arguing, that means that they were in the heat of the moment and that it was emotional. She didn't leave to go anywhere to premeditate anything. It was a reaction. So the people who saying that it was unprovoked, that's a lie because I listened to it. I don't know the preface of what happened before that or why they were even arguing, but if you're going to argue with me about me. That girl went off into a relationship and calling her easy and all that kind of stuff. And that was the reason why she got smacked like that. Some people just want to hate on Claressa just to hate on her anyway. But I think that it was very unfair for her to be banned from that event for life. How about when I used to be a parent educator, we always used to teach that your punishment must fit the offense. That was something that happened, something that they could get over. Even if that girl gonna press charges, I think Claressa need to get a good lawyer. No, you're not supposed to hit people because you're not supposed to do that. But look at their surroundings and where they're at and how they always talk about in the boxing world, I beat your ass. So when the girl called her easy, I feel like Claressa had an emotionally charged response. And it was a reflex because she is a boxer. And I think that whoever that organization was, they need to rethink their decision because that girl was willing to participate in an argument at your venue. And had it been the other way around, would it have been the same? I don't know. But I think that people need to quit saying that it was unprovoked because it was definitely provoked in my eyes. I listened to it. I watched it. Now, I probably would have walked off because I don't argue with people, for one. Hey, I'm going to say what I got to say. I may hurt your feelings. I'm going to move on. You say what you got to say, but you're not going to have a long time to say it. I used to talk to a guy, and he used to say that, we can't listen to each other as one of us is talking while the other is talking. I agree with that principle. But then he would want you to sit there and listen to him be condescending. And I felt like, shut your ass up. Or I'm going to shut your ass up for you. Because I'm not going to listen to this. And I think that Claressa may have handled it wrong, but I definitely think that it was provoked. And for that girl to try to hit below the belt like that, she been wanting to say something. So why you just didn't do like Nene Leakes? I'm not going to stab you in the back. I stab you in the chest, which means I'm not going to talk behind your back. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel about you in your face. And I feel like you shouldn't wait till Mad Day come to decide that you're going to say all these things to hit below the belt, right? Now, I'm going to move on to Tasha K. Tasha K got syndicated with a big deal nationally and globally for Unwind with Tasha K. And I am very proud of her. I remember when Tasha K first started, I had just first started blogging during that time. And she used to run stories on Usher. And it used to be funny. The things that she say is not funny, but how she say it is. And so then it went on to the Cardi situation. And like I said, for a while, I stopped watching Tasha because I got tired of hearing about the situation with Cardi. Then Cardi sued and da-da-da-da-da. But I was listening to different people talking. I noticed this myself. And it seems that every time that Cardi gets mad at somebody in her life, whether it be a fan, it's the label, it's the media, it's the men in her life, especially the men in her life, it seemed like that she would take it out on Tasha K. And allegedly, we would say, because everybody is talking about that. So I knew I wasn't crazy, that I was the only one who noticed that. And I'm glad that Tasha got this deal so that she can pay Cardi her money or either go back and appeal. Because I think that I would try to reopen the case because I just can't understand how you go through all these other things. And I'm talking about Cardi, go through all these other things in her life. But when it came to Tasha K, I couldn't sleep with my husband. I couldn't do this. It destroyed me this. But you were still fighting with other people. But Tasha K was your kryptonite. So I hope this put Tasha in a situation where she can either go ahead and pay Cardi off and be done with it. And because now you're big, don't ever speak her name again. Hey, give her what she wants. And I do like Cardi. As far as reopening the case, I think I would have that case reopened because they said it was with malicious intent. The bitch can go get therapy. Yeah, you don't say stuff like that. But I don't think that it was a damage to her reputation to be $4 million. As I said before, the punishment should be fair. And I felt like if Tasha wasn't making millions of dollars, why was the judge awarding her something that she really couldn't, afford. That wasn't within her means. So I'm glad that Tasha got this deal. You always turn lemons to lemonade. Don't argue with people. Do what you do, because she's good at what she do. She did say some horrible things about Cardi, and maybe Cardi should have sued, but I don't think that the end result should have been like this, where it's like Cardi is nitpicking with Tasha now, and I really don't like that. But hey, so then I'm gonna move on to everybody talking about Jay-Z freestyle at the Root Picnic, and I'm gonna say this starting off. Everybody wanted to listen to what Jaguar Wright had to say. And I like listening to Jaguar. Jaguar is a very talented singer. But I don't even think that she was invited. Do the people not even associate with you anymore? Or maybe have you told too many secrets? I mean, as you get into your old age, when people get together to celebrate accomplishments that you have made in the music industry, you should want to be a part of that and not be remembered for being the chaos. But anyway, other commentators was talking about different things that Jay-Z was addressing. And the most funniest to me, because Jay-Z come off to me as a funny person. Everybody talk about how serious it. So they talked about Nicki Minaj was doing a acapella verse and couldn't get it out. She was stumbling. And I think she was trying to talk about Meg Thee Stallion. And then Jay-Z came with his little freestyle, and he made it seem like he was stumbling. But when you listen to the words, he said, something about Ken, and you can't take your man, forget them. That was not a stumble. That was her own purpose. Just like that girl telling Claressa that she was easy was her own purpose. That was her own purpose. And I like that kind of stuff. Maybe he's not going to battle, but everybody been taking shots. Take little shots back. As far as the Drake situation thing and the academic thing that's going on, people is, I promise, stomping on academics, calling him the DJ that don't spin and how he crashing out and all this kind of stuff. Sometimes silence is better. I don't like men that get together and gossip. I don't like gossiping women either. Men that get together at the gossip and then want to turn around and argue with women, I don't like that shit. So I like the way that Jay-Z addressed everything, whether you agree with it or not. It shows that he is watching and listening to what people say. And I am going to just leave it at, treat people how you want to be treated. Be professional at all times when you can. When you can. And when the door closes. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. You can follow me on Facebook. If you see a Blonde Intelligence page floating out on Facebook, that's still mine, even though Facebook won't let me access it. I tagged myself off other pages, and now I think that my platform is on Spotify now. So I changed my hosting. So you go to Spotify, look for Indie Artist Music Hustle or Blonde Intelligence, and I'm there. Please like, follow, and subscribe. And I'll see you next week. Bye. It's the 5th Annual Scholarship Gala, presented by the R.W. Brothers of New Birth of Life Grand Lodge and Sisters of New Birth of Life Grand Chapter. Join us Saturday, August 22nd, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. at Sherwood Forest, Sherwood, Arkansas, as we honor retired Circuit Court Judge Marion A. Humphrey Sr. and enjoy a curated menu by Food Network Chef Shambi. Your support provides need-based scholarships that empower local students to attend college. For more information, visit snblgrandchapter.org.
Hey girl, let me tell you about this podcast.
Girl, everybody has a podcast these days.
But this one interviews new and interesting indie artists. It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence.
Really? Where can I find it?
It's on all podcasting platforms, streams live on social media, and on rpentradio.com.
What'd you say it was called again?
It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence.
Girl, I'm gonna have to check her out.
Give it a check, girl.